Hi everyone, thanks for clicking on my video. I am Beth Ann of Beth Ann Stamps, and this week I am so excited to share with you that over this past weekend I got to go to Stampin' Up! On Stage, which is where they let us get a sneak peek of what's coming out. And this is the January to April 23 mini catalog for the spring and celebration. To just see all of the demonstrators that were showing new products in these catalogs was amazing. I can't share the inside of the catalogs with you at this point in time, but I can share some products that I received at On Stage. And so today in this video, I am sharing with you some cards I'm making with this Beautifully Happy that will be available as a celebration item starting, I believe it's January 5th. Yes, January 5th. This is in the catalog as a level 2 free item. So if you spend $100, you can select this as your free item. And I really like this set. So I wanted to play with it right away. I couldn't hold off until January. So let's just jump right in and look at what we're doing. So for the first card, we're going to keep it very, very simple. It's just going to be ink and paper. And you can see this is a set of cards that I've made. And I will bundle these up with the next one that we make. Looks like a hollyhock, and so we have a purple, and then on the inside, here on the outside, sending happy thoughts for a very happy birthday. And this one is Fresh Freesia and Highland Heather. Simply ink and paper, and then decorated the envelope to match. So I believe all of these cards, I think I missed the envelope for this one. It is So Saffron and Daffodil Delight. And this little bee is so cute. I have to find the envelope for that one. This one was Balmy Blue and Orchid Oasis. Again, the same thing. I will send these as a gift to someone. This one was Real Red or Sweet Sorbet. I should remember that, but I don't. But it's Blushing Bride in the back, and so the same. So let me show you how I made these cards. We are going to start with just a basic white thick card stock. Cut it 5.5 by 8.5, scored it that 4 1/4. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in my Stamparatus. Oop. See if it's sticking to my paper. Okay, so I'm going to put my card in here. I'm going to grab a magnet. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to sponge a background with some Petal Pink. So we'll do that, tap it off, and just in the middle here, just add a little bit of that Petal Pink. Now we're going to ink up our stamp with some Tuxedo Black, and I'm using the Stamparatus in case I need to re-ink. Just get that impression on there. I think that looks good. No reason to re-ink it. The next color I'm going to pick is Blushing Bride. Now this stamp set is a two-step. So you have the outline and then you have the distinctive fur on the inside. So, and these line up beautifully. So we're going to ink that up, and then I'm going to try to get in here and line this up. You have to move it around. You can see right through those photopolymer. And so we're going to, oh, there we go. Isn't that beautiful? Clean that stamp off. So now I want to get, let me put another pad. We're going to take some Old Olive, and we're going to do the leaves. Again, this is a two-step. So I'm going to try to get in here. See through that stamp, line them up as best I can. It's a watercolor impression still too, so if you're not perfect, do not worry about it. It's still a beautiful card. And then here's the top. You can see it has the little bases to the flowers and then these little pods. So try not to get my head in the camera. There we go. And then it also comes with a little bitty circle that we can use for the inside of our flower. So I'm going to just use some So Saffron there. And then I am going to go back to the Petal Pink that we sponged on the background. And there are these dots. And I love how they're curved because it fits right around these flowers. So we are going to add some of these. You can see as I go around here, it just really fits in. It just adds some of that texture. And then we're going to put it up here. A little one right there. And then for our sentiment on the front, we are using from this stamp set, and I'm going to do in Tuxedo Black, and on the front is going to be Sending Happy Thoughts. I love the script. So now I'm just going to leave it here, but I'm going to open it up, and on the inside, again using a sentiment from here, I'm going to take that Tuxedo Black again, and it's going to say, for a very happy birthday. And then I'm going to start again with that Petal Pink and just put a little bit down here in this corner. So now I can close up my Petal Pink. Let me wipe my fingers since I just stuck those in the ink. This is just a piece of scratch paper, so I don't touch the card. I tend to cause myself a lot of issues with getting ink on my fingers and then stamping. So this is just a small flower, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to come in here with some Blushing Bride. Now this small flower, the little, I think it's called a stamen in the middle, is more pointed, and that helps you line this one up. And it also has the pieces for the greenery, so it'll get that little pod, the green. And I am going to also put a few of the dots around here. And the other thing that's in this set that is so cute is a little bumblebee. So we're going to put that little bee right there. And then for this small flower, there's also the center, and you can see it's shaped a little different. It's not the circle like we used on the front. And this one I'm also going to use So Saffron for the middle of my flower. But one of the tricks we learned over the weekend was this: it can also help you color in your bee. So you just turn it so the rounded edge is towards the front of the bee, and then flip it towards the back. If you can see that. So the rounded edge will be towards the back of the bee and the front of the bee. And then we're going to stamp it once, turn around, and stamp it again. So then that fills our little bee in with a hint of yellow. So that's that card. And then let me close these up. And then to finish this card off, I am simply going to add some pearls to it. So we'll just grab a pearl, and then I'll put a couple down here. Let me see, I think I have a medium-sized one here somewhere. There we go. Get those 3 sizes on there. All right, so then I already did the envelope for this one. Again, using that same color. And then I will take these. There's 5 of them in here. I'll find the other envelope here eventually. And then just put these in a little bag or a box that I make and give that as a gift so somebody has birthday cards to mail out next year. So it's beautiful just with the ink and the paper. You don't need anything else. For my next card, I do want to step it up a little bit. So this is my next card. Same concept, right? We're still stamping it the same way, but we're adding some layers. Still use the same on the inside. I didn't sponge behind this. And then I did end up bringing in Celebrating You because I wanted Happy Anniversary card. And so that's where it's really nice when you have some of those just sentiment stamps that cover a lot of different holidays. So let's take a look at this one. Let me pull in my kit here. So we are starting, this one is cut at 4 1/4 by 11, scored at that 5 1/2. I've already done the inside. We're using Sweet Sorbet and Basic White. And then our layers are, the first one is Basic White, and it is 5 1/8 by 3 7/8. But remember, in the coordinating blog linked below, you can get all of these measurements. The next one we have is Basic Gray. I really like how that Basic Gray goes with these colors. But I wanted to put some texture on this one. So we're going to use the Painted Textures 3D embossing folder. And I am going to run this through the machine here, which has too long of a name. I should just pick a name and like call it George or something. So, and I love this system because it keeps me, I don't have to stop and think. It tells me exactly with the 3D, use plate 1 and plate 4. So I'm just going to put this in here. And we are going to run this through. Let me just move that out of the way. And there we go. I love this folder. I think it's so neat looking. Okay, the next thing I want to do before I put these two together is I wanted to add a little bit of texture with, this is the In Color paper with the Sweet Sorbet. And so this is about 1 1/2 by 3 3/4. And then the white behind it is that 1/8 of an inch bigger. So it would be 1 5/8. So we're going to glue these two together. So I'd love to know, do you guys get excited when the new catalogs come out and companies release their new product line? It's so exciting. And then I'm going to glue this onto the gray. This may be cut a little bigger, so if I glue this onto the gray first, I can then trim any overage here. So there is a little bit. I'm just going to grab a giant pair of scissors and whoop, almost had it. Well, maybe the giant pair wasn't the way to go. There we go. All right. Now I can glue this down. I know it's only November and January seems so far off, but already here in the States, Thanksgiving is next weekend. And then it's only, what, 4 or 5 weeks till Christmas? December is so full of holidays. Some people do Hanukkah, some do Christmas, but the time just seems to be flying away. So before you know it, this new catalog will be out. And if you have ordered from me in the last year, you will receive a catalog in the mail before they go live. So those will come to you automatically if you have placed an order with me in the last year. For others, the catalog will be available online in a PDF when it's released. Let's put this on here in the center. think we got that good. Let's see. Right there. Okay, let's work on our focal image. I know I had another piece of white here. I am going to bring back in the Stamparatus. And I'm going to put this piece of cardstock in here. I think I can actually do it this way. Oh, I want to move it up a little. There we go. All right. Memento. I'll ink this up again. All right. Looks good. I'm just going to leave it here because it does have the cushion in here since these are photopolymer, and we're going to fill in our colors. So we're going to do the flower in Sweet Sorbet to match the cardstock. Again, we'll line this up. Let's see. There we go. And we're going to bring in the Old Olive and do those leaves. Lining that up. And then we'll do the pods on the top. What's your favorite green? I tend to either go to Old Olive or Pear Pizzazz when I'm doing greens. There's some of my favorites. All right, so here again is that So Saffron for a little yellow in the center. And now for this one, I'm going to bring in the basic gray for the dots. I want to just make sure there's no ink on there. And then I'm going to stamp some of them off. So I'm just going to do a solid and then a stamped off to give it some texture. Whoa, that wasn't good, huh? Dropped right out of my hand. Let's see. There we go. And then a stamped off. All right. Let me move this out of my way. And then I brought in the Deckled, I believe they're called. Isn't that terrible? They're one of my favorite. Yeah, Deckled rectangles. And I am going to die cut this out using this rectangle. I think it's the 4th largest. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Nope, 5th. 1, 2, 3, 4, the 5th one. Or 4th from the largest. And I think it's about 4 by 2.5. Again, that'll be in the description below. So I'm going to bring in my plates so I can cut this out. There we go. Run this through. I just left it off to the side instead of bringing it into the camera. Oh, isn't that beautiful? I am just in love with this set. So then I'm going to put this on with dimensionals. Oop, not getting those very straight. This is going to be milled. We don't want any sagging focal points, so I put quite a few on here. You do you. Put as many as you need on there. All right. So I'm just going to offset this a little here to the side. And then for the sentiment, as I said, I brought in that Celebrating You, and I stamped Happy Anniversary. And then I trimmed it down to size. This was just a piece of scrap. Trimmed it to fit the sentiment, and then did the gray about an 1/8 of an inch bigger maybe. I just put it on and took the scissors to it. I am only going to put a dimensional on the far end. And then I'm going to put a little bit of glue here because it's going to set on top of my focal image. So there we go. And then to embellish this one, I know they're right here in front of me somewhere. Isn't that the way it works? The Bermuda Triangle. I know I had them on my surface here. Second, I used the In Color matte dots. So interesting. Ah, they fell. That makes sense. They decided to take a trip onto the floor. And these are really cool. They're that graduated different colors. And I probably went a little overboard. I put one here. Oh, let me move that one over a little. And then a couple up here. And people say you're not supposed to use even numbers, but well, there we got 5. All right. And the inside. And then for here, for this envelope, I actually took the flap and put it into the embossing folder and ran that through. So that flap is going to have some texture. And then I'll just do the same thing here and put a flower on the outside in those same colors. So we'll grab that Sweet Sorbet again. And we'll line that up. And then we'll grab that Old Olive. Do you decorate your envelopes? I am trying to do more of that. Ah, there it is, right in front of me. And then let me get my little bee. Gotta have that little bee. He is so cute. And then we'll do that yellow. And we'll fill in that little bee. And we'll put it in the center of the flower. And then we might as well, while we're here, do those gray dots again, right? This stamp set is going to be part of the January release, and it is a celebration item that you'll be able to earn for free with a $100 order. And then we'll just take a look again at these cards we made. So this is the stepped up version. Stamped inside is blank. It says Happy Anniversary. So there's that card. And then this is the set of birthday cards with matching envelopes. And if you look up a hollyhock flower, you will see that they come in blues, purples, yellows, reds, pinks, and even a black one. So there you go. Those are our cards this week. I really hope you enjoyed them. And as always, I really appreciate you taking time out of your day to watch my videos. I would greatly appreciate it if you would subscribe, hit that notification bell, and give me that thumbs up. That lets me know that people are really watching the video and if you like it. And if you have any questions, please reach out to me. I'm happy to help you if you're looking for a demonstrator. I would appreciate you signing up and using my demonstrator name to order. I'll be honest, I'm trying to grow my business, and I really enjoy doing these videos and giving people some inspiration. Thank you. Bye-bye.